So in this video, we're going to be creating these boxes from start to finish. We're going to be taking our own photos. We're going to be texturing, UV unwrapping, shrink wrap modifying, photo edit, a lot of things, and hard surface modeling. So watch, like and subscribe, do it. So the very first thing I did is went out into the kitchen, found a box and put some masking tape over the top, took a photo of the top. Then funnily enough, I found some packing tape, took a photo of that puppy. And then when I flipped the box over, there was a piece of cardboard in there. So I took a photo of the cardboard. So now we've got cardboard as our base. However, we actually need to do something with these photos. I am just going to use Krita because I know Krita. Let's go File, New, 4K. Let's go 4K. I've downloaded my images from the iCloud because I used iPhone, import as many layers. And from here, we get to do a little Photoshop. I mean, you can use Photoshop, whatever you want. I don't know. I got Krita because no to Adobe. No, because I don't have Adobe because I don't need it. But I mean, Adobe, if you want to sponsor, I'm happy to learn. First thing I will do, let's just delete the background because I do want a transparent background. We will loop back to this afterwards, so don't you worry. But for now, let's kind of like start lining all my stuff up. We are going to move our top layer here. Let's put it all the way there. I want to maximize this texture space and then minimize it. Holding shift, we're just going to make it a little bit smaller. I think we will aim for roughly the same size box that I did use as a reference image. Obviously, we're not going to make giant fridges with this because these corrugated lines are going to look really silly. So let's try and focus on that. Let's go like, let's maximize, stuff it. No, let's go something like that. I'm just going to chop off the bottom, chop off the top, Control C to copy, Control V to paste it back in. Going to move it down to roughly where it was. So about there. Let's go ahead, chop the top off this section. And now you can see that we've got like a bit of a seam, I guess. Yeah, that's the best word for it. I can come over into the paint tool, gonna do something really simple, come into the eraser, and I'm gonna set the opacity down. Yeah, let's go 25%. Size, we can bring it up. Having the top layer selected. Yeah, done. I did notice though, because obviously I've kind of semi-prepared myself for this, I am gonna flatten these two. So if we right click, flatten, merge with the layer below, beautiful. So now that our top of our box is one image. One thing I did notice is that if we go to our second box, this one here, it has kind of like this really nice edge. So if later on we want to create a bit of an edge, we can come back to it and use that edge just to put it on its side. And we're going to pretty much do what we just did. So let's scale it down. And we just kind of want to make these lines roughly similar. Let's come into here. I'm going to right click duplicate and then just hide it because I know that I'm just about to paint over it. Let's delete the bottom section here. Control Shift A to deselect, Control C, Control V to copy it, and we'll put it back in its place like so. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Chop off the top. We might have to align this a little bit better. Maybe there-ish, I think looks good. Nice. Over into our pen tool. Let's just clear up that seam there a little bit. I think that's fine. Let's, we'll merge these two down. Flatten layer, flatten layer, flatten layer. Merge with the layer below. And then we're just going to do a very simple chop. Cool beans. Then from here, we will select the top layer again. And then we're just going to just blend them a little bit together. And all I'm doing is just very lightly erasing. And by doing it like this, it's, I mean, you could do it probably properly, but I mean, that's not bad. Now, the next thing, I'm going to go back into our layer that we've hidden, bring it back. Now for here, I really like this plastic that we took. Let's do something like this. I'm going to delete this section. Actually, we can probably just rotate it. I just want it as straight as possible. There we go. And then we'll delete the other side. So we're going to have two separate types of strips. Cool. You can see my reflection in here, but I think that's okay. We can get away with it. And we are going to do the exact same thing with our masking tape as well. I actually prefer the masking tape. Let's just try and get it as straight as possible. Increase the size. Delete, delete. So we now have cardboard, we've got masking tape, and we've got packing tape. That's pretty much all we need for now, but we will revisit this. So make sure you save it. File, but just export it as box_diffuse. Awesome, awesome, awesome. High quality. All right, now into Blender. Now, as always, select everything, delete, Shift A, mesh, add in that default cube. The very first thing I'm going to do is go into edit mode, scale X2, because I want a rectangle box. From here, if you actually have a look how box unfolds, it's normally one big sheet. We're going to make this kind of like 3 sheets to make our life a little bit easier for UV unwrapping and so on and so forth. It'll make sense. First thing I'm going to do is select both sides, both ends, sorry, P, separate by selection, so that we've just got this one main piece. I'm going to put an edge loop through the middle there and press V to rip, and then right click to put that back into place. I'm going to add in a new modifier, add modifier, generate solidifier modifier, and we're going to change the offset to +1 because I want the box to have thickness. From here, we can go into add modifier, generate, throw in a bevel modifier, but we actually might put it above the solidify modifier. And obviously we've got a bit too big of a bevel. We will change the thickness, we'll change the amount to 0.01. And there we go. So we've got just kind of like a little bit of a bevel. And if we want to, we can increase the segments, however you want to do it. With the inside boxes here, I'm going to go tab into edit mode, E to extrude, and I'm going to scale it on the X-axis. From here, I'm going to delete these internal faces and these faces in here. Delete faces. We could probably scale these in some more as well. I'm actually going to scale this on the Y-axis, so they're kind of like a little bit in because we want to avoid too many faces that are overlapping. And in saying that as well, we can select everything with A, scale on the Z-axis ever so slightly, just move it ever so slightly, ever so slightly. So we've got our box. So it looks like the inside of a box. Now, obviously we could as well put a cut through here as well. Not going to be too concerned about that right now. On these inside pieces, let's go generate bevel. Sweet. 0.01. Excellent. Then we're going to go ahead, generate solidify modifier. And which way is it focusing? We want it to be pointing inwards this time. So there we go. All right. I'm going to guess now if we check our face orientation. Oh, it's fine. Now, since we've got the solidify modifier enabled, we can't actually see the edge of our box. However, if you come over here, there's this little 4 dot thing. When we're in edit mode, we don't see the solidify modifier. So if I click on that, I can now see the top of the box. Let's go GZ, just so we can now see that top bit. From here, let's do a very quick texturing. So we're going to go into new material. If you have Node Wrangler enabled, which is a free add-on up the top, let's press Control T. There we go. Open, box D, open. Sweet, we have our texture on our box. So from here, let's go over into UV editing, and we will go into material mode. I'm now going to go Control L on this one. Oh, actually, no, I lie. We're going to come to the top, select the top and bottom faces like so. Let's go U, project from view. And we'll rotate that puppy around. Whoops, over here. And then we're going to kind of scale it like so. And then if we're in material mode, awesome. Let's now select our side pieces and we'll come into orthographic mode. T, U, project from view. Let's rotate that around and we'll slap that on like so. All right. Here we can obviously see that the texture is a little bit repeating. However, if I just pick this up and we just move it over, and I can just move it down like so, maybe a little bit, you can see how now it's not repeating. However, we've got this problem. Why is that? Let's just select everything and I'm going to go merge by distance. 8 vertices removed. So I must have cut it at some point by accident. That's fine. That's now fixed. From here, we can do this. I'm just going to press U, UV Unwrap. No textures on the left-hand side. That's fine. Let's go into our material and make sure we call this our cardboard box. How are we doing? We'll rotate that around. There we go. We can see that that's facing the wrong way, which is fine. That's why. Let's just line these two up on both sides. Now when I rotate, it should be much better in scale. Now it all depends which way you want to go. Whoops. But to me, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, Yeah, sweet. Now the tape, fun bit. From here, I'm going to go, how do we want to do this? Well, technically tape's not going to be on the top, especially if the box is open. So we're just going to focus maybe on the bottom here. Let's do a Shift D to duplicate and then P separate by selection. I'm going to scale this on the Y axis, like so. And let's just scale it ever so slightly on the X, E to extrude. You can move it down like so. Let's just kind of get it close to the surface. And then we can go ahead and delete these 3 faces, top and side, delete faces. So now we've kind of got this piece here. Let's go into material mode. I can now do U Unwrap. And what do we want? Do we want packing tape? There we go. Okay, it's not low enough. That's fine. It's got a solidify modifier on it. That's our problem. Let's get rid of that. And look at that. We just taped up a box. So now that we've kind of like done all that, we can select both pieces here, Control J to join. So now it's one object. And I mean, it is pretty schmick. Obviously now we can kind of come in, do a little bit more shading. So for instance, if we grab this, let's throw color into roughness. A little bit too shiny for my liking. So we could do a color ramp. Bam. I think we bring the white back and the black up. And now it's no longer, giving us shininess. Let's jump over into cycles, please. And yeah, how cool is that? That's pretty sick. Let's kind of like rotate it around. Simple, yeah? Now to take this cardboard texture a little bit further, we can use a online tool, which is Normal Map Online. There's a link in the description somewhere for it. Let's add in our image here and upload it. We can create a normal map. I don't want it so strong. I want it a little bit subtle. Normal, AO, spectacular. Let's just go download. Normal map's downloaded. If we actually click all, it'll actually create a normal map, ambient occlusion, specular, and displacement. Let's just quickly update all the names of those textures. Let us Shift D on that. Let's open up our normal map. There it is. There we go. Normal map goes into a normal map. Normal into normal. And now that's given us a little bit of extra depth. We can see a little bit of deformation where we created the texture. But you know what? That adds a little bit of character. So I am okay with that. Might just bring that normal down just a smidgen. Nah, stuff that. Let's do a Shift D again. We'll crack this one open. Specular. We could probably put that into the roughness. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what we're going to create some very simple decals that we can slap on the box. So let's just create one right now. I'm going to go Shift A, Mesh, Plane, and we'll kind of create a boundary, because if we go back into Krita, this section here is where we're going to be putting all our labels. I did go through and I added in this section here, this corrugated bit, where we can put it around the edges, but I'm not going to be worrying about re-exporting everything. That's just going to be kind of like that space there. So with that the case, this is going to be our boundary, scale Y. Let's go 5, and that should be enough to kind of slot in there. What I will do, because I just want to keep this kind of like boundary, let's go into viewport display, and we're going to go from display as textured. We're going to change that to wired. So now I've got a bounding box. However, when I add a new plane in, we will probably photo bash some of these, but we will create something. I think maybe the first thing we do is kind of like this way up. So we'll scale that like so, Shift D, Y, let's rotate that around. We need to make kind of like an arrow. So let's go select these sides, E to extrude, scale X, select the top bits here, merge at center, and then we'll just select this, scale. Look at that, easy. So it's going to be some very simple modeling. Shift D, that there looks pretty good, and we might just put one more in. I mean, we could just even leave it like that. Technically, we could even go on Gumroad, or even Blender Marker. I'll put some links in the description, and we can add in a whole bunch of decals like this. I don't know, no step. And so if we look into this, there's already some predetermined ones that we could take. Yeah, let's just snap them all up. What other ones do we like in here? Maybe that one there, that actually might be pretty good. But I do know as well that many moons ago, not that one, many moons ago, I did create some decals. So we might just grab them as well. just random brands that I came up with. Nice, nice, nice. Great. That's looking pretty good. I mean, we haven't actually done too much. And actually, these ones are just images. I'm trying to think what's the best thing we could do now. I think one thing that we don't have is a barcode. So let's go ahead and quickly create a barcode. I'm going to scale on the y-axis, GZ, whoops, GY. Nice and thick. I'm going to put in a whole bunch of edge loops. Let's do Control B and then we'll delete. Let's go Control LP, separate by loose parts. Into edit mode, right click, set origin to geometry. Now when we go ahead, select a few of these, scale along the x-axis. Okay. Let's hide the other ones so we don't affect them. Scale. There we go. So kind of now we've faked a barcode. Alt H, bring it all back. Lovely. And what we could do is now select all these. Again, Control J to join so we've got one piece. And just like a normal barcode, if I were to go B to box select, let's grab that, GY. Nope. Turn off proportional editing, GY. So we kind of have that. Oops. I missed the vertice. Now let's say we want to export these. All I'm going to do is go Shift A. Let's add in a camera. We know our texture size Y-wise is 496. Y-wise is 496. Into camera mode, we're going to change it into orthographic. And when we press numpad 0, this is the view we've got. Is that sitting? Let's go GZ, bring that back up. GY, something like so. We will change the scale over into the render settings. We go into film. We will turn on transparency. I'm going to leave these as white. So when we press F12, nothing's going to happen. Awesome. We need to kind of like optimize these materials. So what I am going to do is new material, emission. Change principle into emission 1, lovely. This here, which actually change it for all of them. And because I clicked and dragged the images in, they came in as empties rather than actual images. So what I actually am gonna have to do, far out, I stuffed up there. Let's create a plane. Just gonna kind of scale it up onto that. Let's go new material, Shift A, let's go into an image, type that, into color and into the emission. Whoops. Into the emission, strength will be 1. Brand decals, make sure the alpha goes into the alpha. Awesome. And then we'll do the same for this one here. Shift S, cursor selected, Shift A, mesh plane, new material, image texture, and it should be this one here. Color, alpha, 1. The images are sitting on top of each other, so we're going to get a bit of clipping. So let's just move that down ever so slightly. That has now resolved a whole bunch of our problems. Let's just get rid of the other one. Let's get rid of our pictures. There we go. F12. I hate you. That's happening because of something stupid. Oh, because I've got a gray plane right there. Let's delete that gray plane, you daft monkey. So even though I put it into wireframe mode, it's still there as a textured item when it's rendering. F12, there we go. So we've got all these labels presented. Save as into our boxes, and we're just gonna call this decals for now. Let's go save as image. Over into Creator, click and drag our boxes in there, insert as new layer, and this should be a transparent image. Let's click and move that one into there. Probably put it like so. What we're going to do with that texture selected, let's go right click into there. We're going to go into layer styles, color overlay, click on it. And you can see now that it's black. I don't want it black. I do want it a little bit grayish. Okay. From here, what I want to do is actually make it probably a little bit of the opacity. And then that way, when we actually put it on the box, that cardboard is going to come through. That cardboard texture will come through. So we'll go with that. And I think we're okay now. Let's leave it at that. Let's go Control S to save. File, export, and we'll export it as our PNG. Where are we? Box diffuse, save. That was loud. Yes, please. Back into Blender on our box. Let's now go ahead and add all those decals to this. Now what we could do is create like a secondary map. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to make my life a lot easier. Shift A mesh plane. We will throw on the cardboard box material. And now, why are you not transparent, you jerk? because over in the shading tab, let's grab our alpha and we'll put that into the alpha. And there we go. Awesome. Now it's super bizarre that that is not coming up. Why? Because obviously in the actual image, we can see it. So we know that Blender's the problem. I've got a feeling it could be this stuff down here somewhere. So it's actually the normal map conflicting it. So we are actually going to have to put it back in the other page and recreate our normal maps. Awesome. From here, let's go into material mode. And all I'm going to do now is chop all this up. So I'm just going to add in a whole bunch of loop cups with Control R, one there and one here. Now we can delete everything we don't need. Actually, we will keep this stuff. Let's put an edge loop through here, edge loop through there. I'm going to delete this one and this one, delete faces. This and this here, we're going to do a small bevel and delete faces. And then with this section down here, let's do a quick Alt R. We're going to select everything. I to do an inset, I to do another inset. Then that way, when we select the outside edge, we can delete vertices. And so now we've got a whole bunch of individual decals that we can apply this stuff to. Right click, we will set origins to geometry. Sorry. Let's go into edit mode. Select all, P, separate by selection. P, separate by loose parts. Right click, set origin to geometry. And so each individual piece now has its own geometry. Now we obviously want it to snap to face. If we come up to the top here and go snap, we can change it to the median point. We can face project, align rotation to target and rotate. So now if I go G and hold Control, it snaps and we can just move it off a little bit. There we go. Let's put nice big, this one here. I'm going to go Shift D, G, hold Control to snap that into position, scale it up, GZ, bring it up above, and there we go. So now we've kind of got our symbols coming across that. It's not as dark as I hoped, so maybe we will have to come in here, select our decals, go into that layer styles, into the color overlay, let us just make it black. Change the opacity, maybe we'll go to 90% instead. File, export as a diffuse PNG, save, yes, okay. And then later on, once we update this, it'll change its color. So now from here, obviously we can just start adding it random things as well, like this one here. G, hold Control, scale, put that in the corner, awesome. GY, now the reason why it's not kind of like in the right position is because of the solidify modify, even though it should be not, but it's all right, that's fine. Awesome. Box 1, done. However, we can actually add more details to this. So for instance, if I want this same company to do this box, if we do this, I want to grab some of our, we'll go packing tape. Let's grab that as well, Shift D, Y. We can grab this piece, Shift D, rotate 90. Let's go GX, snap that to face. All right, so we can have it sitting like so. However, we can expand this along the Y-axis, scale on the X-axis. We can just move it back. And I mean, depends how you want to do it. We can select this edge, Shift S, cursor selected. Select this edge now, and we go set the pivot point, rotate 90 degrees. We go rotate 90 degrees to the minus. There we go. We've added that tape. However, now that we've got this, we should probably delete all those edge loops. We could even throw that up, put an edge loop through there, and then for instance, change this back to medium point, GZ. Let's maybe go proportional editing, turn that into there. Let's go G, rotate, oops, have it like so. And so you can see now how we are adding in a little bit of variety. If, however, we wanted to do masking tape instead, rather than redoing the masking tape, we can just select these objects in here, which is our tape. Let's go into UV editing. Just select this and we're just gonna move it over. There we go. Now we've got masking tape. Sick. I can delete that decal now, and we can grab in this company, Shift D, hold Control, scale, cheese wheels. Cool. Now, you might ask, all right, cool, that's nice. That's one box. Yes, it is one box. However, If we grab all this, Shift D, X, snap that up, we can get rid of that one there. We want to make this a smaller box. I'm going to go GZ, we'll bring it down. I'm going to grab these vertices in here, bring that down. Let's now grab this face, this face, this face, and this face, and we're going to scale that a bit. And so now when we come into, not rendered view, into this road, we can see that now our cardboard's all to scale, and we've got 2 different boxes. But wait, there's more. Let's get rid of cheese sticks. Oh, cheese wheels, sorry. We'll pick up ECP, whatever that is. Shift D, hold control, snap that into there. Let's go like this, GY, ECP. I don't know what they do. They're a building company. And here, with this selected, we can go GZ. Oops, turn off proportional editing, GZ. Nope, that doesn't, that's fine. We can just come in, add a few extra edge loops, and we'll add in an extra edge loop in there. Select our box. We can have it ever so slightly open. If we want to add some more details, someone's been trying to get into it. There we go, look at that. And then we could even grab our masking tape, Shift D, G, hold control, snap that into position. Let's go rotate Z. From here, we want to snap it to face. Go away. Oops. From here, we might want to snap it to face. So what I can do is come over into modifiers, add modifier deform, shrink wrap, place that onto there. Let's give it a small little offset, 0.01. Something like that. And then maybe even someone tried to actually tape it down and they did an absolutely horrendous job. Hey, that's pretty good. Once you're done, just make sure the orientation is all right. It's clearly not, so we're going to select these. Shift N. Nice, 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 nice. Done. Like that. We've created 4 boxes. I'm going to go Control J. Oops. Let's now select all these. Control. I'm not going to do it all actually. I will keep this box and this box. We'll just move them off to the side. Let's select these. Search. We're going to go convert to mesh. Now when I select these, Control J, Control J, Control J.